Grace and peace to each of you. My name is Scott Meador, pastor at Lovely Lane, United Methodist Church. Today I wanted to speak a bit about the number 3. I really like that number 3. I think about God. We come to know God in 3 persons as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the Trinity. God is so wonderful. We get to know God in 3 different ways. I also think about that number 3 in regards to my family. I've got 3 women in my family, 3 women that I love. My wife, Heather, my daughters, Emma and Sophia. I think about that number 3. I also think about 3 in regards to golf, and I really do like to golf. On every hole, I'm hoping I can get a 3. If it's a par 3, well, I have a par. If it's a par 4, I have a birdie. If it's a par 5, I get an eagle. Gotta love that number 3. But also talk about that number 3 in regards to John Wesley, our father in Methodism. John Wesley speaks about 3 simple rules. He says that we need to make sure that in everything that we do no harm, we do good, and we stay in love with God. Do no harm is saying we don't want to physically harm somebody, but we also want to make sure that we don't harm them with the words that we speak or even passive-aggressive behavior. Do no harm. We also need to make sure that we do good, that we're always wondering, am I doing the right thing? Always have to keep working at doing good. And then staying in love with God is basically embracing the spiritual disciplines of meditation, prayer, fasting, study, and service. John Wesley would say that each and every day we do no harm, we do good, and we stay in love with God. You might even call it an everyday ethic, a way that we need to live each and every day. Somebody who really brought out these 3 simple rules was Dorothy Day. Back in the 1900s, Dorothy Day was a person who worked so hard to impact others. As an adult, she embraced the Catholic faith. She went on to found the Catholic worker movement. And she made sure that she was always helping out people and giving people a voice who didn't have a voice. She was also making sure that people who didn't have much had something. She was very much focused on a nonviolence movement too. Dorothy Day was somebody who was always working to make sure that she lived out those 3 simple rules. It was a few years ago that Pope Francis was here in America, and he addressed Congress. And he lifted up 4 American Catholics who have made an impact, and he lifted up Dorothy Day. Again, a woman who in her own way lived out those words of John Wesley. Do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God. Might we look to live a life that honors those 3 simple rules? Might we look to live a life that is very much focused on that everyday ethic of putting God first and making sure that we're always looking out for those around us as we take care of ourselves. May God bless as we journey forward and carry on.